There are three things which annoy people who like Rubik's Cubes. First of all, non-cubers who just say, oh ha ha, I peel the stickers off and put them back on again. Idiots. Secondly, impossible Rubik's Cubes, which I'll get to in a second. And thirdly, people find out you're into cubing and they buy you all sorts of cubing related things other than actual Rubik's Cubes. Although, if I'm being honest, I don't mind that last one so much. I think it's quite nice. So my sister got me this a couple years ago. This is like a cover for tissues. So if you're trying to, if you just can't get your average of 5 down, you can console yourself while you're openly weeping. I've also got some cufflinks here. These are from my in-laws. They got me those. I think that's quite sweet. I've got actually a belt buckle. I bought that for myself. I'll tell you more about that in a moment. And, oh, this t-shirt. A friend got me this t-shirt. Now, I think it's very sweet when people buy me these things. I don't mind. That doesn't annoy me. What annoys me are the people who made or designed these originally and didn't get them right. This is not a real Rubik's Cube. And to show you why, we go back to problem number 1, the people who talk about stickers. And that really annoys people into cubing because if you were going to pull it apart to fix a Rubik's Cube, you wouldn't just peel the stickers off. You would actually disassemble it into its individual cubes. And so, whoops, okay, I've lost one. Right, so this should give me 26, now it turns out 25 individual cubes. That is your center of a Rubik's Cube. It's the axes, and these center ones never go anywhere. So as you're moving a Rubik's Cube around, the middle ones never change position. They fix what color those faces have to be. So you get those, and then you get all the remaining bits. There's all 8 corners of a cube, and there are all 12 edges, minus 1 here, right? And they're all different. So there's no 2 the same because they represent whatever different combinations of colors you'd have on those faces. And so when people say, I peel the stickers off, no, you should pull it apart into the bits and then put the bits back together. But that is where things like this start to go wrong. So just a very simple, naive view of a Rubik's Cube, if I can, okay, fix that, is each of the faces has 9 squares of each color, which we know is not, really how it works. It's the individual bits. But if you just did think of it in terms of stickers, this isn't going to work because if you look at the orange ones, there's 1 orange one there. Okay, so far so good. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There are 11 orange stickers on this Rubik's Cube, right? So that absolutely cannot work. There are simply too many oranges. For other ones, it gets slightly more complicated. So the cufflinks, which are lovely. If you look closely at the cufflink, you can see there's a blue-orange edge here, and there's a blue-orange edge over here. This comes back to the individual bits. There's only one, there it is, blue-orange, no, that's a corner. There's only one, there it is, blue-orange piece in an entire Rubik's Cube. Because there are 2 on these cufflinks, we know they can't be solved. The case for the t-shirt is slightly more complicated. If you have a close look, that's too close. If you have a close look at the middle one, it goes orange, yellow, white, clockwise. And actually, can we, okay, that's better. Right, and that middle one, if it goes orange, yellow, white, now, oh, I can't find that piece because this is not a standard coloring. And people get very upset sometimes when you see non-standard colorings. I'm okay with that. I'm prepared to allow it because the normal Rubik's Cube, yellow is always opposite white, red opposite orange, blue opposite green, which means because they're on opposite faces from the white to the yellow, you'll never have a piece with both colors. Whereas in the middle here, you can see we've got white and yellow, but there's no reason they have to be in this arrangement, right? I'm happy with the non-standard ones. Some Rubik's Cubes in different countries do tend to have different colors. It's fine. Right, so we'll have blue for this example. If this goes orange, yellow, clockwise, and then some other color, there are always 2 pieces with 2 corner pieces for any 2 colors which do meet at an edge. If I find the other, here's the other orange yellow. This one, orange yellow, is anti-clockwise. It goes, well, counterclockwise. It goes the other way around. And so the fact that this one here and this one over here on the side one, right, they both go orange, yellow, clockwise. Even though we can't see that third side around the back here, we know it has to be the same as the other one. We know that's the same piece twice. The t-shirt doesn't work. I mean, it works as a t-shirt, I'm wearing it, but the Rubik's Cube, unsolvable. Even if it wasn't melted, you get the idea. On to presents I bought myself. I got myself the Atari 2600 Rubik's Cube game. It's terrible, but I was like, this is peak 80s. I'm owning this, right? So I got it, and there's not enough on the picture on the actual cartridge to work out if it's possible or not, but I realized it was on the cover of Atari Age when it came out. So I hunted down the May-June 1983 edition of Atari Age, and on the front cover, they tried to cover it up with an exciting red star. You can see there's an edge piece there, which is green on green. So there you are. So that's not a solvable Rubik's Cube, because you're never going to have the same color twice on an edge. Maybe that's the final boss. You've got to defeat a Rubik's Cube that can't be solved, but I very much doubt it. So there you are, peak 80s, not correct over there. So the belt buckle is interesting. I came across one of these. I did a show with a guy called Dr. Carl. Any Australians will know him and his science work. I grew up listening to him on Triple J, and we did some shows together, and he was wearing a Rubik's Cube belt buckle. And when I commented on it, he got very excited, and he wanted to know if I could work out what was wrong with it. And so, I mean, he was wearing it at the time. This is the problem. So he started thrusting his belt buckle at me while shouting, "What's wrong with this?" And I'm like, several things, it turns out. But lovely guy, by the way, absolutely adorable. Anyway, so afterwards I went and bought one, and I don't know if it's the same as Carl's. I'll compare next time I see him, but the one I got is solvable. And initially I wasn't sure, because I looked at it and went, well, there's no more than 9 of any color, there's no pieces twice, and everything worked. And so to absolutely confirm, I got another Rubik's Cube, like a normal Rubik's Cube, and I rearranged it, is that it? Right, okay, to match, exactly, there it is. So there's no red, they got pink instead of red, so I had to use red pieces on this one, but there it is. And because I could take a solved Rubik's Cube and turn it into this, that's reversible, so this is a solvable Rubik's Cube. There you go. I almost enjoy trying to crack if a Rubik's Cube works or not more than I enjoy any single one solved on a Rubik's Cube, right? It's a great puzzle to try and reverse engineer these things. Which brings me to my very last example. This, ladies and gentlemen, is an original Rubik's Cube still in its packet. So this is from Hungary. It has never been opened, and it's still sealed up with the original gold tape, which is very exciting. And I mean, maybe you might be curious what the original Rubik's Cube was like compared to these modern ones. And so, you know, we'll just get right in there and we'll have a look. I reckon no way, there is no way I'm opening up my original still sealed Rubik's Cube, honestly. I got another one that was already open, right? So actually I ordered this online. Oh, it's not solved. I got sent it. I haven't seen it before. And if I ruin the packaging, look at that. So this is an original Magic Cube, right? From Hungary. And that is, oh my goodness, that is a terrible action. That's incredible, right? So like the modern, like the Volt 3, you don't get better than this, right? You get some speedy moves on that, right? Whereas this is possibly, oh, it does say Rubik's. It has got Rubik's on it. Okay, so this is not a proper original pre-Rubik's one, but it's still super, super old. And that is the original box that it came in. And this may have never been solved, right? This could have gone decades, like, because someone would have bought this, mixed it up, and unless you spend a long time working it out or you look it up online, which they couldn't do at the time, right? So this is possibly, wow, that would take a while to solve. You know what? Because this will bug some of you, my Patreon bonus video this time, for everyone who supports me on Patreon, very much appreciate it. I spent my own money on these, this wasn't your funding. I will solve this. I'll have a video that you can watch me fix the original Rubik's Cube so we can have some closure on that one. But the reason I wanted to bring up the original Rubik's Cube, right, so here it is, the original packaging. If you have a look at the picture on the original Rubik's Cube, there are 2 blue and yellow edges. The original, the actual first ever Rubik's Cube packaging got it wrong, right? So we complain about all the modern ridiculous ones, but you know, Rubik's Cubes and incorrect representations of Rubik's Cubes have been around as long, right? They were born together. For as long as you've been able to buy a Rubik's Cube, there have been products with incorrect pictures of Rubik's Cubes. So obviously solving a Rubik's Cube is a great fun puzzle, probably not that one, but you get the idea. And if you don't know how to solve a Rubik's Cube, I highly recommend learning. I'll put some links to beginner guides in the description if you want to get involved. It's good fun. But once you've mastered it, I mean, after that, it's learning new algorithms, it's honing your skills and all that, which is good. But that's why I enjoy spotting incorrect ones, possibly more than solving normal ones. Like this, like working out this t-shirt, initially I didn't spot those two were the same, and I was working out the rest of it and trying to work out how to map this unusual coloring to the real coloring. And when I finally did crack it, I mean, I genuinely jumped up and ran around the room. I was so pleased with solving that. And you know, it's the puzzle solving that I love.